Developed countries, there's a lot of evidence that says these programs do not work, whereas from the developing world we know that these programs typically do work. So talking about the developed countries first, what is behind this evidence that we see that many youth seemingly cannot be helped into employment with job training measures? It seems that there's some speculation why that might be the case. So one is that in markets that have a fairly high share of youth that have a good education, medium, high skilled, for the very low skilled it's very difficult to get into the market. Especially ones if you don't finish your education and then you're 25 years old, long-term unemployed, that makes it very difficult. At the same time, it seems it has also to do with countries where there's essentially a two-tier labor market that creates, so the labor market regulations that create barriers to entry into the market for the youth. For instance, if there are strong regulations on employment protection legislation that make it more difficult for firms to hire, then they're more reluctant to hire the youth, so it's difficult for them to enter the market. Or in countries such as Spain, traditionally, now it's changing, that has very high regulations on the fixed term and unended contracts, so, which also creates a barrier to entry into the market for youth. And then it will be more difficult for training programs to be effective, because they might augment the human capital, but still the youth cannot enter the market appropriately. There are, even in the OECD countries, several programs for youth that do seem to work. And the pattern, or what we know about these programs, seems if they are more likely to work if they're comprehensive programs. Comprehensive means that they are based on skills training, on coaching, on work practice, so they combine certain components. One example, two examples will be the New Deal for young people that was established in the UK. That has a fairly comprehensive set of measures. You start with job search assistance early in the unemployment spell, and later on you combine it with other active labor market policies such as training. Or the example from the US will be the Job Corps, which is also a very comprehensive measure for the most disadvantaged youth, but they're in training centers for months and they receive intensive assistance. Of course, so we know these programs work, but since they're comprehensive, they're also expensive.